Well, it's that combination. And I think booksellers are in a really privileged position that we deal every day with the books, which is great. We love the books, but also with the customers and bringing the two together. And yeah, as you say, it's that combination of finding the right book, whether they know it or not, for a customer, and that's what I enjoy most. Oh God, there's so many. I mean, we're really privileged in this shop that we have books every year that we sell literally thousands of copies of. In fact, today we're waiting on selling our 1000th copy of Nigel Warburton's Little History of Philosophy. But yeah, going back, I remember back in the 80s, Brief History of Time was just incredible here. And yeah, and again, not just individual books, but series like the Oxford University Press very short introductions. And whilst we still sell a lot of them, the first few years when that series came out, we were selling maybe 20,000 units a year of those. So yeah, there's loads and loads. One was when I was working down here in the Norrington room, again back in the 80s, and on the same day I looked up from my desk and saw first of all Mother Teresa coming into shop, and then about 3 hours later the Dalai Lama, which was quite special. There was a peace conference going on in Oxford that day, so they hadn't come just to shop here, but that was quite cool. And then the most exhilarating individual customer was the President of the Dominican Republic about 4 or 5 years ago, who came in on a Sunday when I was working, and he proceeded to spend £23,000 in one go, and only 20,000 on books. 3,000 was the postage to get all the books to the Dominican Republic, and then he came back a year later and spent another big lump with us. But yeah, that was a pretty extraordinary day, and there's a photograph we've got of the actual till receipts of £20,000 worth of books, which the guy who used to work here, who's kind of 6'3", he was holding it up, and it went all the way down to the floor. And, yeah, that was a pretty special day. Findings by Kathleen Jamie, which is a kind of nature, poetic, memoir-y sort of book about Scotland and the Highlands, and it's just a beautiful book. It's beautifully written, and it just leaves a warm feeling whenever you go back to it. So that's my favourite book today. It'll be different tomorrow. I've got a really lovely Norton annotated Huckleberry Finn, which is a book I love anyway, a book I sort of grew up with, and I kind of treated myself to this nice edition some years ago. Madame Bovary, I think that would be a fun, interesting, flirtatious meal. There's a common perception that anyone who works in a bookshop just sits there with their feet up and reads, which isn't the case. There's a lot of stock to move around, there's a lot of work to do in terms of merchandising your shop or your section. There's got to be great awareness about customers and potential customers, and reading people is really important, so whether they want to be approached or left alone, and maintaining your energy throughout the whole day is potentially a challenge. So, and we are blessed and lucky here. We've got people working in this shop who actually grow up wanting to be a bookseller, which is pretty rare. I just want to say something about books in my bag. It's so embedded in our year now, and it's only in its 3rd year, and I think it's been a fantastic thing to be part of and support. And for booksellers, every bookseller, every physical bookshop, every physical bookseller in this country, we know we've been through really tough time, but with the starter books in my bag, it was in many ways the kind of genesis of the rebirth of bookshops. And there's more confidence about bookshops now than there's been for 10, 15 years. There's much more awareness of what we need to do in order to not only survive but thrive. And so yeah, no, I'd just like to say thanks on behalf of our booksellers for giving us something that we can really hang our hat on.